Hi guys, welcome back. Last Ninja 2. I'm going to show you how I can turn this game into something that's worth up to £250 to £300. Let's get into it. Hi guys, welcome back. Well, as I said there, bold statements, silly money. Yeah, Last Ninja 2. This game currently sells for anything up to £250 to £300. Don't believe me? Look at this. I was bidding on that one. So I know exactly what this game sells for and what it potentially can sell for. But I picked up this copy. I picked it up at a fraction of the price. A bit of a snip. And the reason for that is because the case is destroyed. Totally destroyed. I'm going to show you what you need to do to bring the value of that game up to its maximum. And it's dead easy. We're going to let the cat out of the bag on this one because there's so many of these that are sold which are totally incomplete. That's the first thing. It must be complete. And it must be in a half-decent box. It doesn't have to even be perfect. And you can quite easily get 250 to 300 quid for a copy of this. This is crazy. My original game unfortunately got sold on many years ago. It was fully complete. It was purchased, and I'm sure I purchased off you, Andy. I'm sure I purchased it off you. Back then, I think he sold it me for either £5 or £10. I can't remember which. It was a dirt cheap game back then. Now, because generally people have parts missing, it's a very expensive game. So we're going to clean this up. We're going to fix it. We're going to put it right. And I'm going to show you how to do it. Right, so let's take a look at the box, the contents, and what should be in there to make this game worth that much. So first of all, the top case. As you can see, someone's took a dirty great big. I bet you they did that when they got frustrated and wanted to get into the game at some point. Also, it's got tons of marks on the inside. That doesn't bother me too much, but there's no way of fixing this. There's absolutely no way of fixing it. So that is destroyed. Okay, so that's gone. In fact, we're not going to throw it, because I'm going to show something else on there in a minute. Right, let's have a look at the inner box. The inner box, it's not the worst condition I've ever seen. So, looking at the back there, it's as you would expect. It's not too bad. Inside's standard case. So, that's not bad. So, we'll keep hold of that at the moment, but we'll just move it to one side. Now, what should be in there? Well, it should be a game. That's the first thing. And it should obviously say Commodore 64 128. So, game, check. You should also have a little piece of paper, which is your attention all cassette users. You should have that as well. So, check. You should also have a map. That's what your map looks like. This is in pretty good condition. Very surprised how good the condition this is, but not that this ever got used, because to be honest, it's a bit of a waste of time as a map, but it is what it is. So, map composer. What you also should have is your instruction manual. There you have it. one instruction manual. Bent up there at the back, but that can be rectified. I suppose a quick iron just to flatten this out a little bit would probably make that look a little bit better. The next thing you should have, and I don't know what the technical term is for this, ninja mask, shall we say? You've got to have one of these. So, we've got that. But the hardest thing to get, and I always remember people using terms, Death Star. It's not called a Death Star. It was never called a Death Star, except by people that just don't know what it's called. It's called a shuriken, and it was a rubber shuriken. This is what you're after. I don't know. I'll try and get in close. You see the markings on it? They're still on it. They're engraved into it. Now, I've cleaned this up quite a bit already. Here, that's probably the best shot. Now, I remember those markings back in the day being a bit more gold coloured, if I'm honest. But it's an old game, you know what I mean? It takes its toll. Rubber, when it starts to break down, it leaches. And when I say it leaches, the chemical compound seeps out of it and it becomes sticky. And you've got to clean it. You've got to wipe it. One of the best things to clean rubber, window lead. That's what I've used on that to get it back. So it's no longer sticky one little bit. It's back to an almost perfect condition. Apart from, like I say, I'm pretty sure. Let's try and get that angled again. They were originally a bit of a gold colour. So, but with time and age, these things, this is the hardest thing to find out the whole lot, because you know what? Kids threw them, lost them, destroyed them, had them pinned up on walls for years and then binned them. This is the hardest thing to make, to make your collection complete. You've got to have this, otherwise it's not worth the money. So we've got everything. The only thing we're missing is a replacement box. Now, what's the easiest thing to buy? Well, another box. But you don't go looking for a Commodore 64 box. Don't ask me why. The ZX Spectrum version of this game is the complete other end of the spectrum. The Commodore 64 version is ridiculously expensive. The Spectrum version is ridiculously cheap. Now, I'm only interested in a box. That's what I got, basically. It was a box with a game. ZX Spectrum version. Yes, a bit tatty at the bottom there, but we can fix that. The main thing is, the box is fine. This is how you turn your game into an expensive one. It cost me £4. £4. There you go. Box. Cassette. The cassette does say ZX Spectrum 48K 128K. I'll probably keep this. I'll probably stick this in the same box. So I'll have a box with both cassette tapes in it. So we'll keep that. Now, there's no splits in that whatsoever, so that's good. We'll compare both of them, work out which is the better version to keep, and we'll keep it. The most important bit is that front lid. Now, it's fairly square, as you can see there. It has gotten a little bit tatty at the edges. That's just age and wear and tear. That's all that is. It does look, though, very, very good. So, this can be cleaned up. And because it's shiny cardboard, you can get away with using soap and water. But it's mild soap. Now everybody should be able to work out what the hell mild soap is. Fairy liquid is not mild soap. It may be mild green fairy liquid, but it's quite harsh, so you've got to be careful. You're talking about something like hand soap. And you don't put it on by the bucket load. You'd use a nice soft cloth, work it in there, Don't let it get too wet, because we are talking paper. And once it gets wet, it wants to expand. Do not do anything with the inside. As you can see there, it looks like it's had a bit of a date or some numbers or whatever stamped on it. That is what it is. That stays there. But we've also got at the top here a sticker, which quite clearly does say ZX Spectrum 48K cassette. That's going to have to come off. The ideal thing to do, really, is to get the sticker off the other one, because that quite clearly does say Commodore 64 128K cassette. There we go. I might keep the sticker on that one, but I could really do with taking the sticker off that and putting it on this one. The bit at the bottom is exactly the same. Limited, so I'm covering it. Limited. Oh God, I'm still covering it. Grabbing at the top. There you go. Limited edition. To be honest, I don't remember seeing that back on there back in the day. So, whether or not at some point they put those stickers on, I don't know. If I can't get the Commodore 64 sticker off properly, I'll remove the ZX Spectrum and just have it plain. I think that's my best option at this moment in time, because the boxes are identical. Just to prove that, where's the base? There we go. They're identical. They used exactly the same boxes for both game editions. Didn't matter if you purchased it on the ZX Spectrum or Commodore 64, the boxes are identical. And this is how we get now a pristine box. You see where I'm coming from? All that's going to happen with this, I've already cleaned that up. I've already told you what to do, use Windowline. That'll get a bit of, don't smell, that'll get a bit of an iron. That's all. The instruction manual and the other bits of paper may receive a small iron, but that's it. The main bit is the box, and I'm not having to do a great deal. All I'll probably end up doing with the box is get out my magic pens and tidy it right up after I've given it a wash. It's that easy. So, you all know what soap and water is. I'm not even going to bother showing you that. In fact, I'm probably not even going to bother showing you how to iron, because if you don't know how to iron by now, there's something wrong with you. So, I'm going to go away, give it a proper clean, and then we'll show the final results. I may show the bowl and that bit of water, so at least you get a general idea of what we're doing. But really, if you can't iron by now, people, come on, there's something wrong with you. Either that or you're too rich and you don't need to iron. Let's move on. Right, I'm going to end up showing you a lot more. So, we've got the label there. This is the Commodore 64 one. We want to get that label off. So, I've got my trusted knife as well, but trying to get that off alone is not going to cut it. So, I've got my hot air gun. So I'm going to try to basically heat up the label, which should hopefully heat up the glue, which I hope will just make it warm enough to peel off. I don't think there's anything else, because I want to keep the label if I can. If I can't, then I'll end up removing the other one, and then that'll be the end of it. But I'm going to give it a whirl. so hot, it's actually cooking. Oh no. Look at that. Straight off. I think I have damaged the label a little bit, but I've got it off in one go. So I'm happy with that. Just a closer look at the label. See, I've got it that hot. It has, well, it's darkened a little bit. But you could also turn around and say, well, that's aging. Now, do I keep that label on there and put this one on there as well? Or do I just get rid of that, or just put this on top of there or over it? Oh, decisions. Not sure what I do there. Right, after a little bit of debate and having a quick chat with the wife, because I am going to keep this in my collection, we will have both stickers on the box. So we're going to put that to one side at the moment, because I might as well move on to cleaning. I want to try and not get these absolutely saturated, of course. So let's get, oh god, it is tight, the box unpacked. Make sure that we're only cleaning what we need to clean, obviously. Right, so 2 boxes. Also, something that I did notice, one was clearly marked Commodore 64 box, the other one was marked ZX Spectrum. Both of them, I don't know if you're going to make that out, basically the barcodes are identical, so that's a good thing. So just put that there again. Now for cleaning, like I said, it's lukewarm water, it's shiny, just be careful of the edges here where, you know, the sheen has gone. And basically I've used Carex hand soap, so I know it is definitely mild. And all we're going to do is, because there will be many years of just dust and grime that has worked its way into the box. And you can actually feel when it's working, because it almost goes tacky to the touch. So I know that this is definitely cleaning, because that's exactly the sort of feel you should be getting. But like I say, we're just giving it a quick clean. It's not over dirty anyway, and we're certainly not wanting to saturate the thing. Well, that would have removed a lot of grounding dust. So that's the first step. Second step now is let that completely dry. In fact, you can see how bad that was. I wet that a bit too much, didn't I? Second step then is to let it dry thoroughly. Tidy up all these edges, and then let's have a look at the innards. While we're just waiting for that to thoroughly dry out, here's everything we've got to play with. So as you can see, we've got 2 innards. Now, carefully examine it. I can see that we've got a mark there up at the top. Yeah, you can just see that now in picture. There's a mark there. A bit of a crease there maybe. So something might have hit it there. So that's that one. Let's look at this one. apart from maybe a little dimple there, that looks like a winner. So we'll use that one. So let's just get rid of that on one side. Not that I think it actually needs much of a wipe. Doesn't look like there's really any dust on there, to be honest. No, so that's fine. So let's put that over here. The shuriken, I have already cleaned that up already. So I already know that's fine. Right. And instruction manuals. They're identical. At the moment that one's the winner because of the crease, but that's all. But if we just open that up, it tells you about it. Loading instructions. Commodore 64 128, as you can see. Multi-load instructions. Ah, here we go. ZX Spectrum. Let's just check it with this one. Loading instructions, Commodore 64 128. On page 7, where we spot Spectrum. ZX Spectrum. So the Spectrum instructions and the Commodore 64 instructions are identical. There is no difference in them whatsoever. It's got a crease at the back. I'm going to go with that one. Both game cases. Not wrong with them. They are. I'm going to give them a little clean though. I'll use that. Plastic clean and shine. I'm not going to spray it directly to it. I'm going to put it on this cloth they've got here. Soft cloth. There we go. Just a little amount. I certainly do not want to rub any of the writing off. But at the same time, we want to protect the plastic a little bit. There we go. Same with that one. There's something I've just spotted. I'll show you in a second. The file size. That may sound a little bit silly when you're saying that with a cassette. These are the full games. It does not say, right. Look at the amount of tape there. Look at the amount of tape on the Commodore 64 version. Oh my word. It's at least 3, maybe 4 times the size. But what a brilliant game. What a brilliant game. Right, they're done. Bits of paper. You know what, it's flat enough, surely. And as for, it's a little bit of crease here and there. I suppose if I want to be a bit, I could put it in between a book, which would probably be the best thing really. But I'm happy with that. The only other thing to do, if I want to be super critical, does it really need an iron? I'll probably just give it a soft iron. Right, you don't need me to see me iron it. So what does the finished game actually look like? Well, there you go. There you go. What do you think of that? It's shined up really well. I've got my magic pens on the corners. I mean, it's only black. Now, another hint and tip there for you. Hint and tips, listen to me. Another tip. What you could actually do is, certainly on the corners, Pritt stick. A little bit of a Pritt stick, just gentle wipe. Use your finger as well if need be, because what happens is Pritt stick dries clear, and it would give this a little bit more added protection. I've not done that, purely because I haven't got any. But that's the only reason. But as you can see, I've got this looking pretty sweet. I think when you start prattling about with the pens, less is more, if you get me. I've gone with the 2 stickers, as you can see there. I've actually got both games inside the box as well, but I've not touched the back. The back, as you can see from each corner, is the original. I've not touched it. I've cleaned it, of course. Put a bit of polish on there as well. That's why it's looking so lovely and shiny. But what do you think? What do you think? And this, as you all know, is complete in the box. Now, there is plenty of examples out there of people trying to get more for the game than what they've really got. It's got to be complete. It's got to have everything like I've shown you. Now, I'm going to quickly flick over to the computer and I'm going to show you. There's one guy on there at the moment that's trying to get an outrageous amount for this game, and it's nowhere near complete. There's also a couple of other examples which are pretty fair on price, might move a little bit, but let's just skip over to that now, and I'll come back to this in a second. So, as you can see here, I've hopped onto eBay yet again, and I've literally just put in Last Ninja Commodore 64. Last Ninja 2 rather, Commodore 64. Straight away, there's one there for 15 quid. Let's just have a quick look at that. Because that box is pretty neat, and it's got some weird, see what I mean about the Commodore 64 sticker? And at the bottom here, there isn't any limited edition sticker. I don't know what that is. I've never seen that before in my life. But having a look, all he's got is the box, which looks pretty sweet. Manual, which does look sweet. The map looks good, and the game. But he's not got anything else. But asking for, what was it, £15? That's not a bad price, really, when you think about it. Especially if the back of the box is that sweet. Now, this guy here, originally, I was after the box because this was the only box that was out there, and I thought I might be able to tidy it up. As you can see from that, that is in horrendous condition. Look at the state of that box. No way, no way would you want to do anything with that. He's not even bothered cleaning it. But it's what he's asking. He wants 150 quid. And as you can see here, he sent me an offer. Give me 140 quid and it's yours. Get stuffed. Looking at this bit, game, he's added. It's a joke. Hit Squad Last Ninja 2 game to it as well. He'd be very lucky to get 15 quid for this. That's horrendous. But there's also not that many copies of this game, certainly at the moment on eBay, as you can see. And that's it. That's the whole shebang at the moment. One there for 12 quid. Let's have another quick look at this. Box itself, it's not too bad. In fact, it's a Spectrum version. It's not Commodore. So I think I did really well to get it for 4 quid. So just got to be mindful that if you want to go after this game, you've got to get the whole thing complete. Mine is complete, and I'm really happy to own this again. It's not going anywhere, it's staying in my collection. Now, time for your thoughts. Yes, it is a ridiculously expensive game. I always say games are only worth what someone is prepared to pay for them. And unfortunately, there's too many people out there that will pay £250 and £300 because these are now turning into rocking horse shit. They are really difficult to get complete, but they're only worth that money if they are complete. Hope this has been a little bit of help for you guys as well. A little bit of advice there for you as well. Get them complete. If you're not and you're looking to go after the parts individually, fantastic, do that. For those that are looking at this and going, oh, I've had mine since brand new, I've only paid £10. Well done. Keep it in your collection, but if you're looking to make a bit of money, pop it up for sale. You should easily get 250 to a maximum of 300 quid for it. Right, I'm waffling now. I'll leave it there. Thank you for watching. Thank you for supporting me. Catch you lot all again. Take care. Woohoo!